Good morning, guys. I'll just wait for a couple of people to jump online before I get started. Just going to do a quick one this morning. Happy Saturday for everyone out there. I don't know who else woke up in the middle of the night last night, but at least one other person who I've spoken to today did. And I've got to tell you, I woke up and I had this real peaceful feeling and real clarity coming to mind, you know. And I don't know, it must have been about 3 o'clock in the morning, but I'm doing this video right now because Australia, we're in a situation that no other country in the world is in regards to debt and many other things happening with our government, who refuse to listen to the Australian people. And if we don't, here's the facts, right? If we don't stand together and sort this out before it's too late, what's going to happen is they're going to come for each one of us individually until they've taken all our homes, taken all our property, and liquidated our entire country. This is what's happening right now, and it's going to continue, and that's a fact. It doesn't matter what you believe or what you think. That's what's happening right now. And if you don't believe that, then start doing some homework. So the only way to defeat a tyrannical, treasonous government in exile who is waging war on the Australian people, the only way to defeat that is for the Australian people to stand up and take their power back, okay? And you know, our forefathers, our ancestors who died for this country, for our freedoms, for our rights, would be turning in their graves, you know, looking at what's going on in this country today, because I'm turning in my sleep, you know. I'm not in the grave yet, but that's what's happening because of this tyrannical government, who they are terrorists, and they are waging war on the Australian people, and that's what's happening. So in order to take our power back, we must stand together, we must unite, and we must stop funding. We must stop commerce. We need to shut down the country. I'm telling you, the only thing we can do, we must shut down the country. If we don't do it now, what's going to happen is more foreign interests are going to come in, and they're going to be able to run the country without any Australians. It's already happening everywhere. You can see it in all the workplaces. They're bringing in foreign employees. You know, they're selling off all our property to foreigners so that they can run the country without Australians. They don't want Australians here. They don't want us alive. It's not good for Australians right now, but we must stand up, we must stand together, we must take our power back, and the only way to do that is to go, right, you know what, we've had enough, you guys are criminal bastards, and we're sick of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a week off, we're going to decide when our public holidays are, we're going to call it Freedom Week, and this week is going to go down in history. Do you know why? Because the entire Australia, hopefully, you know, I can't do this by myself. It needs everyone out there to stand up and do this together. No one person can do it by himself. No one. We must all do it together. We need to take that week, and I'm chosen the week, the 11th of the 11th of the 11th. Now, we all know that to be a significant number for our forefathers, for our protectors, for remembering those who went before us, for this country and for our freedoms, you know. So, not only that, but 1111 is a massive portal when you're talking about numerology and energy. It is a very powerful date, and that is what's coming up, and this is the time in history that revolutions are happening, and that's the date that it's going to happen. And Australia, we must stand up together. We've got to stop working. We've got to stop working. We need to stop, and we need to collect our thoughts, and we need to think, and we need to heal, and we need to fix what's going on before we can move forward. Okay, we've got to stop, because people do not have time to even think about what's going on. They don't have time to stop and talk to their friends. They don't have time to do anything because they're so busy, because this system is keeping them in slavery on purpose, so they can't think, so they can't make decisions and can't see what's going on around them, because they're kept in fear. They're kept in fear mode. How am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to feed the kids? You know, my kids are sick. My kids are always sick. Why? You know, people, they don't have time to think about things. But we've got to stop. We just have to do it, because if we don't do it together, if Australia doesn't do this together, the government in exile, these belligerents, will do it for you. They will do it for you, and they won't do it nicely. They're going to come, they're going to take all your shit. They're going to fuck it off to their friends overseas, whatever, you know, go and do some homework on it. That's what's happening. And they're going to do it one by one, incrementally. But as you can see, they are speeding up really, really fast, really, really hard, their efforts to take everything they can from the Australian people. So we must stop. That's the only way. We've got to stop what we're doing. We've got to take a week off, and we've got to socialise with our community, with the people in our community. We've got to get out and talk. We've got to get onto the streets, start walking around, having picnics, having barbecues, get down to the beach. We've got to get out. We've got to start talking to people, and we've got to communicate with each other. And, you know, I would go as to say, like, you know, Australians are really good at camping. We're really good at going bush, and we love it, you know. We love getting back to nature. Why don't we use this week? And I'm saying from the 11th of November until the 18th of November, we shut down this country, 100%, right? And if you are supporting a tyrannical government during that time, well, you know, that's up to the people. But we've got to stand together, we've got to do it, and that's it. We can't beat them in the courts if the courts are corrupt. It cannot happen. It's an impossibility, okay? I don't know if he's watched Trump's speech, you know, it's really interesting, but he's just pulled out of the Universal Declaration or the Human Rights Committee. He's pulled out of the Human Rights Committee. He's pulled out of the International Crimes Court. Now, I don't know if that's good or bad, but I don't know why you'd want to pull out of the Human Rights Committee. You know, that would scare me if my leaders or my politicians were pulling out of the Human Rights Committee and they didn't want to have anything to do with it, because those human rights are what keeps those tyrannical governments, well, it's supposed to keep them from harming us, but it's not, is it? You know, they're doing what they want. Australia, we've got to stand up and we've got to do what we want. We've got to make the call. We are the government. We are it. And if we don't do it, they're going to do it for us. And they're going to keep doing it the way they're doing it, and they're going to take all your shit and they're going to laugh at you while they're doing it. They're already laughing at us. They take the piss out of us every fucking day. This 40-kilometre law where you've got to slow down to 40 kilometres because some coppers pulled someone over for speeding or whatever. Some coppers infringing on someone's rights. Now the rest of us have got to slow down to 40 and nearly have accidents. You know, there's accidents happening everywhere because of this bullshit rule. They're taking the piss out of you, Australia. They're taking the piss, mate. No shit. And they do it. That's what they do. And if you think that this is just an isolated incident with one Prime Minister after the next, it's not. It's been going on for a long time, and there's a lot of people involved. But there's not as many people involved as there are people in Australia that want good things to happen and want the right things to happen. There's more Australians, there's more people in this world. You know, we've got 7 billion people. You know, what have they got? 6 million? They like to think. Half of them are going to be good as well and not want to do the bad shit that they do. Stand up, get some balls. We've got to stand up, and we've just got to say no. Fuck ya, I'm not going to work. I'm not working for the next week. I'm not paying your bills. I'm not paying your fake illegal taxes. I'm not paying your rates. You want to come to my house and you want to try and take it? Well, bring the court order. Make sure it's lawful. If it's not, you're trespassing, and I'm going to use reasonable force to remove you from my property. Don't take their shit. They're fucking criminals. 11th to the 18th of November, Freedom Week Australia. Freedom Week Australia. Go bush. Go wherever. Stay home. Do whatever. You've got 6 weeks to start stocking up on food, water, and everything that you might need if these bastards decide they want to shut down your electricity grid or your water, whatever. Get ready for whatever's coming, because Australia, whether you like it or not, or whether you believe it or not, we're in more debt. We got 25 trillion in debt. Sorry, 1.7 trillion in debt. I think it's 1.7 trillion with our banks. I've got it written down inside. I can't remember. I was talking about it yesterday, but it's the highest in any Western society. That's Australia. And you know, they're not going to come and go, hey man, we'll you know, we're all in this together, so we'll just let you off. They're going to want to take all your shit, and that's it. All right, so we're just too busy to see what's going on, so we've got to stop. We just have to stop. I can't stress it enough, but we've got to stand up and go, rightio, whatever your name is, Scott Morrison, fuck, I can't even remember their names because they change that often, you know, and they're not even worth remembering because they're just lying. I'm going to try and not attack people personally because it's not very professional, you know, and I'm trying to respect these people's sovereign rights, as Trump said in his speech. But you know, if you're not a sovereign, then you don't have any sovereign rights. I mean, if you're a government and you're working for a piece of paper, that piece of paper is not a sovereign. It's got no sovereign rights. So, you know, how can you respect rights that aren't even there? But you know, we've got to share this video, share it, talk about it, get it out there, because this is the time when the change is going to happen. Freedom Week Australia, the 11th to the 18th of November. Stop working, stop paying, no commerce. We've got 6 weeks to stock up for our families, for our friends, whatever we're going to do, go camping, whatever it is, but we've got to stop. And this is the information that came to me at whatever time it was this morning, 3 o'clock or 3:30 when I wake up, and I wrote down my my orders. I wrote down, you know, what we're going to need and everything, and there will be more about it, but this is it. And this can go worldwide, you know, this isn't just in Australia, this is worldwide. I would suggest anyone having issues with a tyrannical government to stop. Just stop. It's called peaceful non-compliance. You are not committing any crimes, you're not harming anyone. We don't need to see civil war, we don't need to see, you know, we don't need to see things on the street where people are, you know, fighting and whatnot. We just need to stop and do nothing. That's it. It's that simple. It is that simple, people. Because if we're not funding them, how are they going to support themselves? We've just got to stop. We've got to stop, and we need to think. We need to take a week. Our country needs a week. We've been at war for so long. We haven't had time to stop and think and scratch our ass for that many years because our government's been pumping up the taxes and we can't afford to feed our families, we can't afford to think, we can't afford to stop. You know, we got to stop. It's up to the people. I can't do it by myself. I can't do it with just a few people. I need everyone to do it, and it's not even up to me. It's not even about me. It's about all of us. It's about everyone together. And if we can't stand up and do it together, then we're all fucked. And that is the truth. I don't care if you get offended by swear words, it's not my problem. I've got a treasonous government here, government in exile, liquidating the country. That's my problem. All right? I'm not concerned about people swearing and offending my feelings and whatever. Fuck that. You know, we've got to come together and we've got to stop. And that is it. We just got to stop. It's that simple. Anyway, we've got 6 weeks to store up our stuff, you know, start, and even if we don't do this, start stocking up on food and water, because that non-perishable items are the most valuable thing that you can convert your foreign currency into right now before it is worth nothing. But food, water, things you can trade, anything like that, you know, just in case these banks decide they're going to take everything, because they have allowed people to borrow more than they can afford to repay if they were to put the rates up. So they lend the money when the rates are low, and they go, rightio, well, you can afford to pay it, and then they put the rates up and go, oh, well, you've got to, you know, give us your house now because we put the rates up, and now you can't afford it. Well, actually, that's the bank's problem. That's their liability. They've got to pay for that, not the Australian people. You know, and a variable loan is illegal anyway. A contract must be fixed, you know, so they're committing fraud, and they're criminals. And they're not taking our homes, you know, at least not our primary residence. Anyone comes to remove someone out of their primary residence in this country is a criminal. That's it. Why do you want to create homelessness? Why do you want to move people out of their home that have been living there for 36 years, these farmers, these old people? What the fuck is wrong with you, government? Wake up to yourself. And this is all of us. All of us. We think it's normal. We think it's normal for people to get kicked out of their homes when they own their home because they won't pay a fraudulent tax to a corporation who hasn't even been lawfully elected into government. And Australians think that's normal, and they stand up for the government who's there taking the houses off these elderly people that have been living there their whole life and serving our country, providing food to our country. And people think that's normal. People call me crazy. People think, what do they say? What's that word they use? Delusional, dreams of grandeur. They say, oh, dreams of grandeur. Let's put him in a psychiatric hospital because he wants freedom for the people. He wants the people to have what they deserve. He doesn't want the people to be harassed by a tyrannical government. He doesn't want, you know, people being homeless. Dreams of grandeur, freedom. Are you fucking serious? Dreams of grandeur, you moron? Wake up to yourself. Whoever the fuck says that, come and see me and I'll sort you out. You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Freedom is what it's all about. Sovereignty is what it's all about, Australia. We need it. That's what it takes. Otherwise, you know where we're going? Australia is going to become Auschwitz. That is what's going to happen. I don't care what you think, what you believe, whatever. That's how much that's the amount of love they have for you. They don't want you here. They want you fucking dead. That's it. I don't care if that offends you. I hope it offends you, so you actually think about it and maybe do something about it, make a change, you know? But we've got to stand up and we've got to stop and we've got to take our power back because no one's going to give it back to us. No one's going to give it to you freely and go, oh yeah, there you go, mate, sorry. Oh, we've all been lying to you for the last couple of 100 years. You know, it's all bullshit and we've just been taking your money or for the last 50 years or whatever it may be. Hey guys, the whole Law Society is a fraudulent bunch of criminals. I can't believe the Law Society would even know about this stuff. I don't know how they sleep at night. Criminals, absolute criminals. The Law Society is supposed to be there for justice and to uphold the law. What a load of shit. You're a bunch of criminals. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Hey Paul. Angela, 3:30 wake up. So yeah, anyway, so sorry Angela. That was about the same time I woke up. But yeah, that's it. 11th of November to the 18th of November, Freedom Week Australia. This will go down in history, but it's not up to me. This is just an idea that come to me from up there. I'm putting it out to you guys. If you guys want to share it and you guys want to take part in it and you guys want to take your power back and you guys are sick of the government and you guys are sick of asking them to change and they're not changing and you guys are sick of the shit and you're sick of the homelessness and you're sick of the people being kicked out of their homes, you know, and whatever else. And by the way, in the next 10 years, we're going to lose another 40% of our jobs here in Australia to machines. And yeah, so whatever. That's cool. No drama. Not only that, they want to double the population. So hey, let's reduce the amount of jobs and double the population. That seems like a fucking smart idea, you dumb fuck. I don't know who put these people in power or how they even got in there, but we've been asleep. We have been asleep, world. It's not just Australia, we've all been asleep. It's time to wake up and take back our power. I feel good, you know. I'm confident. I put a post up yesterday about a heart attack stop, you know, cayenne pepper and chili powder. You boil that shit up, right, and you put it in a squeezy bottle. If you're ever having heart attack symptoms, you can spray a couple of drops in your mouth. You can put it on your plants to keep the bugs away. But the best thing about it is you can use it for self-defense. You put that stuff in a spray bottle, you get rid of all the powder, you put it in a spray bottle that's got a bit of reach on it, and you can keep people away from you. It's just the same as any other, you know, cayenne spray or chili spray. Why should they have all the fucking weapons? Why should they have all the self-defensive, offensive weapons, you know? And I'll tell you what, the reason why I'm talking about this is because there was some sneaky bastard hanging around my girlfriend's place the other day, looking through her windows, and then some other bastard down, my neighbour down in Victoria, strangled my mum's fucking dog with his belt. What is going on in this society? What is wrong with people? You know? So I said to my mum, I said, you know what you do, mum? I said, you make up a solution of this chili cayenne powder spray, and you put it in the tank, and you connect it up to the hose, which is connected to the pump, and if he comes anywhere near this place, you spray him from 50 metres or 100 metres or however far that hose and that pump will go, you can reach him, right? That can disable you know, that person or whatever it is. That can disable it. You get that shit in your face and you're done. Forget about it. So be careful with it. You know, but we've got to start thinking. And I'm not saying something bad is going to happen, because I don't want that to happen. The last thing that I want in this country is to see, you know, violence on our streets. It's disgusting, it's traumatizing, and it's not necessary. But people need to know how to defend themselves. They've got to get creative, and they've got to share their ideas in case they need to defend themselves and their family from tyranny. That is here. And I really hate these the negative vibrations that people think I'm putting out, but it's just the truth. It's just what's going on, and it's just what needs to happen at this point in time. You know, no one likes you know, the thought of what may happen, but realistically, at the end of the day, you know, Australia, we are self-sufficient. We have the ability to be independent. We don't need any other country for our survival. We need no one else. Nothing. We can survive by ourselves with everything we've got here. We've got more than enough. You know, so if they don't want to play nice with us, then they can fuck off. Alright? Because we've had enough. 11th to the 18th of November, Freedom Week, Australia. This will go down in history. This will be like the Independence Day of America, but this will be the week where Australia said, fuck off, you treasonous bastards, we've had enough. We're not paying ya, because actually if we're paying ya, we're aiding and abetting the enemy. We're criminals ourselves. We're incriminating ourselves by paying these swine. You know? We have the power. We have the power. We, the people, are the power. We are the government. That's it. We support this country. We prop up this country. We prop up all the corporations. We prop up all the businesses. We, the people. We trade our hard-earned work and time and energy that we slave away for 5, 6 or 7 days a week for what? So we can be harassed every fucking week by these bastards sending us more infringements and bills that aren't even lawful. You know, we don't have to pay it. It's not real. You look at the acts and the law, everything. They've got to have a common seal or a seal. It's got to be a wax seal. None of their paperwork's got it. It's all fraudulent. They don't sign it. They have to sign it according to the Corporations Act. Look at the Corporations Act 2001. Every single, you know, it's all got to be signed or sealed. If it's not signed or sealed, it's not legitimate. You know, I got a letter from the bloody firearms department because my license, which I've paid for my firearm, you know, I haven't got my photo, and they're like, well, if you haven't done it in 28 days, we'll lock you up or whatever. I'm like, well, mate, the tax is paid. You know, I'll get the photo done, but I haven't done it yet. You know, but that letter was signed by no one. So I rang them up and I said, well, who signed it? Like, who's signing off on this? And she's like, well, it's the department. Well, the department doesn't cut it, right? If you want that document to be lawful, it's got to be signed or sealed, depending. Sealed if it's going to be a court order or an official document. Signed if it's just a corporate document, which means it's not a government document. It's just signed by a corporation. Anyway, love you too. We will stand, but we need more. Unite the clans. Yeah, you know what? We need more, but we also need to set an example. That's it. You know, we get 10,000 people in Australia, 5,000 people in Australia to say, fuck it, I'm not going to work for that week. You know, and they may replace our jobs. Maybe. Whatever. But we've got to start making an example. We get 5,000 people to do it, and we get 5,000 people, right, sharing that message on Facebook and social media and YouTube and on you know, because the mainstream media are such swine, they won't put it out there. They don't want to cover anything real. You know, they just want to keep the fear-mongering. They want to keep dividing the people. They want to keep dividing, using our Muslim friends to take away more rights from us. You know, that's what they do. They purport all these, you know, they use Muslims and they go, oh, they're doing this and they're doing that and they're refusing to do this. And you know what they're doing? They're just exercising their natural rights, which is what we should be doing. But they're using them because people are afraid of Muslims because of all the fear that have been put into them through the fucking media. You know, I've been to over, I don't know, 15 or 20 countries. I've been in Afghanistan for 6 months. You know, everywhere you go, they're just people. They're just people being people. And you know what the thing about people is? They just want to be left alone. They just want to be at peace with their families at their homes. That's all people want, you know? We think we've got the right just to go in and do whatever we fucking want. What a load of shit, mate. We got to wake up and we just got to stop. So we get 5,000 people to do it. We get 10,000 people to do it. We're going to make waves, and that is going to set the precedent, and then we'll do it again. And then we'll do it again until they get the message. And if they don't get the message, then we'll just stop everything for good until it's sorted out. Stop everything for good. Don't rely on them. Start stocking up now. Start converting your paper money to food and water. Whatever it is you need to trade. Be wise. Be smart. You know, they're not going to tell you that it's collapsing, but it's collapsing right now. The banks aren't lending any money. My mate's got about $500,000 equity in his home, and he can't get a loan for half of that amount. The banks aren't lending. They've shut down they've shut down everything. Now they're taking. Now they're taking. That's all they're doing. They're liquidating. They're trying to recover. They're not even recovering because these banks, they don't even create the money. You know? I mean, they do create the money. They just create the money. They don't put their own money into your home loans. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. They create it out of nothing. They're not even required. The only thing required for a home loan is someone that wants to sell a home and someone who wants to buy a home, and that's it. And those two people can make their own contract, you know, and that's it. And then you take the promissory notes or the contract to an Australian bank where you change it for Australian money at no interest. Anyway, that's my rant for the day. I'm sure they're going to like that one just as much as I like them. And when I say them and I'm talking because, you know, people say, oh, it's dividing and it's this and that. Well, let's be clear. We are divided. Right now, we are that divided. It is unbelievable. We're divided. Men and women are divided. You know, families are divided. Religion divides families. My grandma and my dad, you know, judge the shit out of how I look because of their religious beliefs. You know, it's disgusting. Families are divided by religion. Communities are divided by fear. Men and women are divided by fear in this perpetual media machine that is a disgrace to this country. A disgrace, whoever owns that thing. You know. Anyway, that's enough. I'm going to do a video later, maybe tonight, on the council letter that I wrote to the council because, you know, they are cracking down and there's more people being kicked out and I'm pretty sick of it. So I'm going to share all the information I can to keep people in their homes, you know, and to fight this stuff lawfully. using their own acts as well, because that's what we need. We need to be able to use their acts as well as the Constitution and everything else that we've got. You know, and we've got to make it public. Because when they keep secrets and they keep it all quiet, then that's how they get away with shit. By keeping it secret and hiding the truth. Running around in corners. You know, hiding in dark places. Fuck that. Shine the light on them, put it out there, get it out into the universe, and that's it. You shine light into darkness and the darkness disappears. And that's a fact. Did somebody say take back Australia? Absolutely, mate. Our government are New World Order lackeys. Yeah, they're just like, you know, I've never seen a bunch of weaker bastards leading anything, you know. Couldn't lead a horse to water, these pricks. And still, so many people, oh yay, you know, simply because they wear a suit and they're talked up in the media, you know, even though they lie to your face. They lie to our faces every day. And we just are like, oh, well, that's all right. Oh, don't swear. That offends me. Oh, don't say that. That offends me. Oh, my government's just taking everyone's homes and it's sitting illegally and they're criminals and they're committing treason, which is the highest crime known to man. Ah, don't worry about that. I'm too scared to deal with that or talk about that, you know. Grow some balls, eh? Start talking about what's real. Stop getting offended by swear words and things that don't matter, like religion and flat earth. Who gives a fuck? Who cares what the earth looks like? Who cares what people believe in? People can believe in whatever they want. As long as they're not harming other people, which is what's going on right now, you know. The Roman Catholic Church wants to have its churches and all that. Cool, man. Go and do it in your own time. Go and do it in your own place. But don't try and put it onto us, because that's not what we're about. Michael, he's right, but it all depends on the US. Understand that the war for freedom has started there. Yeah, the US is in a real interesting place right now, you know, and exactly right, Michael. People are aware of what's going on. And the people over there have guns, right? Because they're aware of tyrannical governments from their last Independence Day, from their last civil war. You know, we haven't had a civil war due to a tyrannical government. So we're just oblivious to it. We're just ignorant of it because we haven't experienced it. Americans know. That's why they're so passionate about keeping their Fourth Amendment right to hold and bear arms. Because they've had tyrannical governments before. If you read through all the law books, all the dictionaries, they all refer to corrupt governments. It's all talking about corruption. It's all talking about trying to deceive the people to take their stuff. It's all about property acquisition, removing it from the people to themselves. It's all about that. It's all about power and property, you know. But the US, the UK, none of this is being put on the media. Jump on and see what's going on over there. Like, just jump online and YouTube and see what's happening in America. You know, look up what's going on in the UK. There's protests all around the world. You've got martial law over in France. That was a year ago. You know, it's not Australia. People are Australia is the canary in the mine shaft. That guy said, that whatever his name was, who was talking about coming here. I can't remember his name. That insignificantor. You know, talking about how Turnbull wasn't hard enough on the Australian people. Fuck off, mate. Who do you think you are? Fucking wanker. I wish I could remember your name. Brannon or whatever your name was. You cockhead. Anyway. You know. People need to start getting pissed off. And people need to start getting fucking angry. Because you should be angry for what's going on. We should be that angry You know, it's not even funny how angry we should be. But we don't need to be violent. We need to defend ourselves and our families and our communities, but we don't need to be violent. We need peaceful non-compliance. We need to take that time off. 11th to the 18th of November, Freedom Week Australia, or Freedom Week the world. Wherever, however far it goes, spread this around the world. Let's stop the entire fucking planet. Let's stop the entire commerce of the entire planet for an entire week, and let's see how they go. Let's see if they want to negotiate then. But until they want to negotiate, they're going to keep stealing your rights, they're going to keep stealing your homes, and they're going to take everything you own. Until we have a leverage point where we can negotiate with these swine, nothing's going to change, and that's a fact. Anyway, I hope you're having a good day. I'm going to go into town. I might go to the curry fest and try some curries. And Steve, soon to be exposed, our government's donations to the Clinton Foundation. High treason, keep watching. Yeah, thank you, Steve. And just to elaborate on that, the definition of treason, right, is transferring a public asset or a Commonwealth asset, basically, right, from the Commonwealth to any foreign jurisdiction. That means any private company that is not in the Commonwealth is another jurisdiction, right? So you transfer any public property, any Commonwealth property, any public assets to any other company or corporation, and you are committing treason. Wherever you are in the world, it doesn't matter. That's the definition. Keep your politicians in line. You know? And the other part of the definition is betraying your government, you know, to the hands of foreigners. Or trying to overthrow your government. Well, you can't be overthrowing a government if there's no government in place, can you? You know? You can't overthrow a government that doesn't exist. We don't even have a government in this place right now. We've got a corporation. You know? And what's the role of a corporation? Just think about it. You know, who do you work for? And what are they... Whoever you work for, what is their mission? Why are they doing what they're doing? I'm going to say 99% of the time it's because they want to make money, right? So they can support their family and their home. Well, they're no different to you. The people who are in Parliament are no different to you. They don't give a shit about you. Just like you don't give a shit about them. Why would it be any different? They're just feathering their own nest more and more with your money. The thing is, they're just smarter about it. They just know how to use the law better, you know? Well, I guess that's it, really. Or they manipulate the law. It's not even the law, they just manipulate it to whatever they want. Just lying swine, but, you know. Anyway, he's Dusty Boy. He's Dusty Boy, he's shaking a bit. We must be getting a bit of, Hey. Oh, Dusty Boy. Say hi to Dusty. Dusty Boy! Woo. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. Please share this video. Please share it. Please share it. Please share it. Because the only way is obviously we've got this platform that is heavily restricted. But this is where we're at. And this is what needs to happen. If Australia is to take its power back, it must take its power back by doing so. 11th to the 18th of November, Freedom Week Australia, or Freedom Week World, however far it wants to go. It's not up to me to do it, it's up to everyone to do it. I'm just sharing the idea. This is what, you know, I woke up at 3 o'clock or 3:30, whatever time it was this morning, and this is the idea that was in my head, and it was clear as day, and it was peaceful, and it was right. It's the right thing to do, because you're not harming anyone else, you're not hurting anyone, you're not committing any crimes. You can't be committing any crimes if you're not harming anyone else. It's called peaceful non-compliance, and that is how the world is going to return to its correct status quo of freedom and sovereignty of the people. It is peaceful non-compliance all the way. Have things ready for self-defense. Always be ready to defend yourself and your community. But peaceful non-compliance is how we're going to achieve what we need to achieve. And then, when we are being peaceful in our non-compliance because we are unsatisfied with our current so-called leaders, if they then begin to initiate force and violence against the people, then you are well within your God-given rights and duty to defend yourself and your people. And fuck anyone who says that that's not right. That's right. You know, I've got to say, like, a lot of people talk about doing it with love and with peace, and everything I do is with love. And it's with love for freedom and love for life and people. And, you know, the thing is that when you are dealing with unconscious or unconscionable beings that, you know, you won't even get close enough to talk about your loving ideas and ideals and whatever you want to share with them. You will never even get close enough to these people who are going to try and control you, to share your ideas with them. So you better be ready to defend yourself. And if you're not, then you're just going to be rounded up and put wherever they want to put you. And that's how it's going to be. And it's up to you and me and everyone to stand together to make change. And that's it. So share this video, share the idea, put memes out there, write it on your Facebook, share it far and wide, get it out there, get it out there, get it out there. 11th of November to the 18th of November, Freedom Week for Australia, if not the world. Let's take back our sovereignty peacefully. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll talk to you again soon. I'm going to do that video on the council, the letter that I sent to council, and I'll talk a little bit about their acts and all that, and that's it. So I'll do that later, hopefully tonight. And please share. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your comments. Matt, we need to guide people with practical steps to achieve real change. Yeah, so you've got 6 weeks to stock up on food and water and whatever it is that you need for your family. Get yourself a tent. If you haven't already, go camping. Find a nice camping spot. Get out. Use that week to talk to your community, to share with friends and family, and talk about what's going on in the country. Don't talk about the football. Who gives a shit? Don't talk about the flat earth and the religion and everything that's dividing. Talk about your government and talk about what you want to see happening in this country in the future. Because if we don't plan for the future, then it's in someone else's hand. And I'm telling you, whatever, if we keep going as it is, you know, I don't even need to talk about it anymore. I'm like a broken record. So thanks for watching. Matt Harvey, post it as an event on Facebook. Yep, and please, anyone make these events. Anyone out there listening right now, make the memes, make the events, and share it. Please don't put it all on me. It's the idea, and I will put it out there as much as I can, but please do your own as well. Like, make a, you know, the picture and the meme and whatever. 11th to the 18th, Freedom Week Australia and all the world. But it's up to the people. No work, no commerce, no bills, no paying anything, nothing. Whatever you're going to need for warmth, shelter, you know, all this stuff we'll talk about later. But just start getting the information out there. We need to spread this as fast as possible and as far as possible if we want to make a change. It's just got to be done. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Paul Wallace, medications are very valuable in hard times. Such as medicinal marijuana and stuff like that. That's where I'd be looking. You can just grow your own medicine. You don't need to rely on these pharmaceuticals that are just there to poison you and fucking kill you and destroy your brain and give you Alzheimer's. Fuck that shit off. It's not right. Whatever you think it is, it's not right. You know, maybe for some people it works. Maybe for a few people it works. But majority do not need that shit. Grow your own plants. Grow your own plant medicines. Make your own plant medicines. Get yourself a herbal book. You know, I bought a herbal book. Herbal remedy book from the bloody second-hand store for $1. And I was reading it last night. It's got amazing information in it. The amount of books you can get, stock up on books, information, family, first aid books, you know, how to create things, survival books, all this stuff, bush food books, everything like that, you know. And you can get them for $1 and $2 and $3 at the exchange stores and whatnot. Because if you've got no power and you've got no internet, you've got no information. You know, it's that simple. At the flick of a switch. Oh, back on. Dusty's shaking. But Steve, being registered on the voting register gives sovereignty to the government. Yeah, look, people keep saying this, sovereignty to the government, and I've been studying all this law shit and whatever. Look, the truth is, fuck the law books, whatever, fuck all that shit. The truth is, the power is in the people, right? And that's it. The power's in the people. Don't worry about what the books say. We'll rewrite the fucking books if that's what it takes, all right? The power is in the people. That's what we've got to understand. That's what we've got to remember. And that's what we've got to do to take our power back, is remember that and enact that, and that's it. We saw it in Egypt. We saw it in countries all around the world where the people have just said, nah, yous are bastards, you're criminals, and we've had enough, and we're not taking it anymore. We're sick of it. We just got to stop. We got to stop. We're going to take a week off, and we've got to think. And yeah, people might lose their jobs. People might go hungry. People might struggle for a couple of weeks. Well, you know what? People are going to have to struggle, and they're going to struggle anyway, whether we do it by our own choice or whether it's forced upon us. I'm telling you, it's much better to do it in our own time, on our own terms, than wait for them to do it and do it on their terms. You don't want that. Believe me, you don't want that. Do it on your terms, Australia. Do it on your terms, the world. Don't leave it up to them, because they're not going to do it for you. No one's going to do it for you, except for you. Anyway, I'm going to get off this, and if anyone hasn't seen Donald Trump's UN speech, I recommend you watch that. It's actually quite interesting. I've got some pros and cons that I want to talk about it. I might do a video on that another day, but it's really interesting. Highly recommend people watch that. But he does talk a lot about sovereignty and how he wants the world to be sovereign, free, independent nations, you know. But then he goes on about, you know, how he wants to protect his interests and whatnot and whatever. But look, we the people can absolutely respect your wishes, Mr. Trump, and your societies, and whatever societies you want to have, we respect that. No problem. Do whatever you want in your own time to your own people, but don't do it to our people. Don't do it to us, because you don't have that right, mate. You know, take your societies and all that shit and go and have your own bloody little societies, but don't do it in our, you know, in our territory. You know, the originals territory. We're just, you know, we're just visitors, and for some of us it's our home now. And if we want to keep it our home, then we better start acting, we better start thinking, and we better start speaking, you know. Otherwise we're going to end up like, you know, the rest of the people who are being shipped off around the world and moved out of their homes and kicked out of their homes and whatever. You know, that's going to be us real soon. Real fucking soon. I'm not kidding. Really soon. I'm talking the next couple of months, you're going to see the housing markets crashing right now. People are going to be on the streets, right? There's no reason for any person to be moved out of their primary residence because of a bank loan or any form of loan. There's no reason for any person to be moved out of their primary residence. Okay? If you've got investment properties and you've got your money stretched all over the place, well, you're going to lose that shit. And get over it, it's gone. Right? But your primary residence is what you need to protect. And that's what we're all entitled to, shelter and a primary residence that we've all worked for and we've all paid for and we've all traded our time and our labour for. We're not giving that up to anyone. No foreign interests are coming in to take our homes and our houses. That's it. Australia needs to control this before it gets out of our hands into foreign hands any further. Again, if the foreigners come in, right, and there's enough people for them to run this country, enough foreigners to run this country without Australians, then we're fucked, right? Australia needs to stop. We need to stop the country while we've still got enough people to do it. We need to stop what's going on. We've got to stop the system while we've got enough people to do it. That's it, you know? Because soon there's going to be enough foreigners here to run the country without any of you Australians. And you know what's going to happen then? The Australian people are going to become, you know, under the poverty line, and we're going to become immigrants. We're going to be shipped off out of this country. They don't want you people here. Australia is the best country in the world geographically and you know, with nature and everything we've got. As far as I'm concerned, I've been to 20 countries. There's nowhere else I'd rather be than here, you know, and everyone else wants it because it's the best place in the world. Why do we want to give up the best country in the world to foreign interests? Why do we want to do that? Why do we want to be shipped off to some other shithole? You know? Or worse still, just bloody deleted from the face of the earth. You know, because it's cheaper to kill people than it is to bloody support them and move them on. Anyway, this isn't fear-mongering, this is just how it is. This is what's going on in the world. And yeah, please share the video. Thanks for watching. 11th to the 18th of December, Freedom Week, Australia. No work, no commerce, nothing. Shutting down the system ourselves, not asking someone to do it for us, taking our power back and doing it ourselves. That's the only way it's going to happen. Steve, illusion of grandeur. Yeah, that's what they say, illusions of grandeur. Because I want freedom, because I want prosperity for the people of this country, because I want people to stop being infringed and harassed by illegal friggin' belligerents. You know, and they say that's dreams of grandeur. Whoever says that has serious mental disorders and they need to seek help immediately. You are sick in the head if you think that freedom thinking is dreams of grandeur. You're a parasite if that's what you think, and you need to reassess the way your mind works. Matt Harvey, post the event there, mate. Matt Harvey, if you're still listening, could you please make that event, mate, and post it and share it, please? You know, if you've got the time. I'll also make an event, but let's make as many as we want. We can put as many ideas. If you've got ideas, make creative ideas. You know, put it out there. As long as it's not promoting violence, it's not promoting disruption of other people's freedom to act if they choose to act in that time, you know. We can only affect ourselves and our own environments and our own families. We don't have a right to stop other people from acting. But let's make our own, let's make up these, please share this. Please make up your own memes, your own whatever, and share it far and wide. 11th to the 18th of December, Freedom Week, Australia and all the world. Let's just give them a message that they can't ignore, yeah? Because that's the only way it's going to happen. Otherwise they're going to keep ignoring it. They're going to keep ignoring our letters. They're going to keep ignoring our bloody, our everything. Our wishes, our demands. Despiana, let's set a date and put it out there. Yeah, the date is set. It is the 11th of the 11th, 2018, which is an 11 year. It is the most significant day of the year, if not the century, you know, if not, I don't even know how long, thousands of years. It's the most significant date we're going to have for a long time. And it is a transitional date. Numerologically, look it up. One, do you know what? Ones are new beginnings. And now you've got, we're going to have 6 of them. New beginnings, new beginnings, new beginnings. 1 is new beginning, new beginning, new beginning. Leadership. New leaders, new beginnings, new leaders, new everything, new systems. new systems, new leaders, or no leaders, whatever you people want. New systems, new leaders or no leaders. You know, everything needs to be renewed, redone. We can't even go back to a status quo because we don't have a status quo to go to. We're literally going to have to rewrite the books. We use what we've got until it's corrected, you know. And I mean use what we've got in accordance with the common law. Anyway, Despiana, Muslims are not the problem. No, they're not a problem. They're beautiful people. And I'm grateful that they're here because the diversity that they bring and the food they bring and everything, you know, we can learn so much from them. They've been around for many, many years and they've got a very deep, rich history and culture, you know. We, the people, must stand together. We must stop dividing each other, you know, because they stand together and they get shit done because they stand together, they do what they're going to say, and that's it, and it gets done. 11th to the 18th of December, Freedom Week Australia. Mark Lucas, the banks are turning fake money into real assets. Exactly right. If you can't see what's going on, thank you, Mark. If you can't see what's going on, right, what they're doing is they're giving us these things called promissory notes, okay? And they're from the Reserve Bank of Australia, which is found in, which is owned in America on their stock exchange. It's registered in America, and which means it's owned in America. And I forgot where I was going with that. The banks are turning fake money into real assets. Yeah, so we're basically, they're giving us this plastic money for our work, for our energy, for everything we do. We get paid this plastic money, which is worth plastic. It's worth fuck all, you know. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed by silver. And that's what we're trading our time and our energy for. They're using the money to buy all the resources, all the gold, all the silver, all the metals, everything. It's going to start to rain. So while they're stocking up on the resources, and then they're going to increase the interest rates, so people aren't going to afford the houses, so the housing market's going to crash by 50%. Who do you think's going to buy all the houses for pennies on the dollar? The banks, yeah? The banksters, all the corporations, they're all going to buy up these houses for pennies on the dollar. Well, let's make sure, right? How about this, Australia? How about we sell all our shit off before then, if we can, God willing, and then when the market's crashed and all the foreign investors are selling their shit because it's no longer worth anything, then the Australian people buy it all back, right? But we've got to be smart about it. We've got to get out while we can. You know, if you're in an inflated housing place and you don't want to live there or whatever, or you can't afford the repayments when they put the interest rates up because they're gonna, you know, then sell it. Keep your money or transfer it, turn it into physical silver and gold, and then when the time comes in a year or two, you know, when all these foreign interests are selling off their shit, we can buy it all back. It's the only way we're going to get our country back. We have to crash it. We've got to stop the system. We have to do it. You know, it's happening anyway. It's already happening right now. But we need to try and manage the situation as much as we can while we've still got the opportunity. So that's enough out of me for today. Well, for this morning anyway. There's much to talk about. And thanks for watching again. Please share, please share, please share. And please make your own things about the 11th to the 18th of November, Freedom Week Australia and all the world. And, you know, this is just an idea again that came to me in the early hours of the morning when I was woken up. You know, I had probably 2 hours sleep. And I woke up feeling very peaceful, very clear in my mind and very calm about what had to be done. And this was the message that was sent. It is peaceful non-compliance. It is non-criminal. No one can be arrested or infringed upon for not doing something, you know, and that's it. And the 11th of the 11th, 2018 is the day that we remember the people that fought and died for this country, and the day that we must stand up once again and say no more government. We've had enough, hey? We're done. We're sick of it. You know? We want our lives back. We want the Australian way of life back, where we don't have to rush around and work 5 and 6 and 7 days a week just to make ends meet, let alone living a fulfilling, you know, happy life. So, yeah. Thanks again for watching, and please share, please share, please share. Steve Sleep, Sun Tzu, The Art of War, use the enemy's resources. Yeah, that's it, you know. Every high-tech problem has a low-tech solution, you know. Notice how XPMs run off to the States when they have done screwing with us. Oh, notice how XPMs run off to the States when they're done screwing us. No, I haven't seen that, Sean. But thanks for pointing that out. Matt Harvey, post a strike event on Facebook, Lucas, as an event. Yep, and I'll do the event. And if anyone else can do events, please make up the events and share them. Or just start sharing it. Just start sharing. 11th to the 18th of November, Freedom Week. No work, no commerce, no government, no nothing. Australia's got to take its power back. We decide when we have public holidays. We decide when we have Freedom Weeks. Not you. You're there to serve us. We'll tell you when we're going to have a holiday. We'll tell you when you can sit in government and when you can't. We'll tell you if we're even going to have a government or not. How about that? That's what's going to happen. And that's how it's happening. I could talk forever, eh? My voice just keeps going. But I'm going to go, and thanks again for watching. I'll catch up with you all again soon.